Hey guys, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I'm your host, the INSANEBRIT, and this is this week's News Friday, where I talk about all the week's gaming news, gaming topics, anime, etc., etc. And I won't lie, we've got mostly movie-based information here today, but there's a lot of other stuff as well, a few other bits and pieces. I thought we was going to have more news this week. Just to give you a small update, is tomorrow there will be a food review. I'll upload a picture via Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and so you can check out what that is afterwards. But anyway, so there will be a food review tomorrow. Don't forget to check out my Sleeping Dogs playthrough. Part 3 releases today, and then maybe 4. I don't know, depending what I decide to do on that. But yeah, so I'm playing Sleeping Dogs right now, and I have completed the full Walking Dead Season 1 and the DLC, so that's all out now. Go check it out. That will be in the annotations when at the end of this video. Anyway, so on with this week's News Friday. Nintendo of America co-founder Alan Stone has died from a short-term illness. I believe it was cancer, I read. He was aged 71. He helped establish Nintendo in North America, being responsible for bringing the likes of Donkey Kong to the USA and to the rest of the world, and negotiating to bring Nintendo's coin-operated arcade games in the likes of their marketing strategy at that time was in pizza parlors, bars, arcades themselves, obviously, and hotel lounges. With the success of that alone, hitting 60,000 units in the USA alone. Pretty impressive. In 1982, he later went on to become president, and sorry, that was in 1982. And then after founding the likes of Nintendo of America and being the vice president, I believe it was, he then went on to become president and CEO of Sega Entertainment. So yeah, he did a lot for the actual industry in itself and establishing Nintendo in North America, and of course that having an effect around the world on, of course, getting into Japan back then. I mean, it's bad enough today, bringing shit out. We can't even get shit dubbed, you know what I mean? It's a work in progress, and it's constantly like that. So the fact he was able to do it back then is pretty good, and of course it affected so many childhoods around America and everywhere else. And Nintendo, Mario being very, very famous all around the world, childhood memories kind of thing. And I never really had Nintendo or whatever, but I played one later on, like when I was 9 or something, so I came into the game very, very late, whatever. But yeah, so good memories there, and he will be sorely missed, no doubt about it. Next up, we've got some movie news. There's quite a bit of movie news. Jordan Vogt Roberts is directing the Metal Gear Solid movie, and the script is being worked on right now. There's so many things to say about this. He told the Collider that it is the most important franchise to me on the planet. Now I looked at Wiki, and according to seeing his past movies, and he has directed 5 or 6 movies, 3 or 4 of them being comedies. Metal Gear Solid is not a comedy, but his last movie was, it looks pretty good. I've seen the trailer. King Kong Skull Island, the new King Kong movie that's coming out, whatever. Now, a comedy's a comedy, and if you can do comedy, okay, that's fine. You've made a bunch of them. You're experienced in that area. You're experienced, but it isn't very worldly. King Kong's a very simple concept. You look at the first movie where Peter Jackson did it. People go to an island. King Kong's there. We discover him. They bring him back for a show. Very simple concept. You look at the Skull Island one. People go to the island. King Kong is still there. Hasn't changed his address, obviously. And he's battling monsters, action scenes. Very simple concept. Even I get that notion and would go, well, this is the principle of what we're going to be doing. Go with it, go with it, go with it. And then, oh, that looks good, that looks shit, that's bad. It's very easy that kind of movie. You can see the narrative straight away. It's not that complicated or hard. When it comes to Metal Gear Solid, it is extremely hard. Are they going to base this movie off of the games? Is it going to be the first game? Are they going to come up with their own story? Who's going to play Snake? Are we going to have Meryl in it? Are we going to have obviously the commander's going to be in it? Is it going to be about Shadow Moses? All these questions, what they're going to do with it is bad enough. You know what I mean? The only thing I could say in theory is that he is a fan. Okay, so he isn't going to be like somebody just going in and making a movie to make a quick buck. He has said it is one of the most important franchises, so I'm hoping he understands completely the scale of what he is about to do. There is a lot of fanboyism in there. I'm one of them. I'm very skeptical. I am very worried. The only way I would not really be worried is if, and this ain't going to happen by the way, is if Kojima was directing it, or Kojima was right there behind the director going, wrong, do this, do that, yes. You know what I mean? But it ain't going to happen now. With Konami and him part ways, Kojima ain't going to be involved no way, shape or form. You know, Kojima has said in the past that he was very worried to do a Metal Gear Solid movie because it wouldn't live up to expectations, stuff like that. But now with him gone out the picture completely, it's going to be less of whatever it was going to be. The idea of what it should have been or what could have been, with Kojima gone and having no say on the movie whatsoever, I worry for it. I really, really do. I mean, even if you put Steven Spielberg there, you know, a world director who's done many films, masses, billionaire. He's actually a billionaire, I believe. I would still be a bit nervy, but go, we trust in Spielberg. And I would still be worried. but the fact this man's only done 5 comedies and, you know, Skull Island, I don't know. I'm kind of worried. We'll have to wait and see. No date has been set. No actors have been said who's going to be playing Snake and all the rest of it. So I'm very worried. You know, we're going to have to wait and see. I want to be happy and go, oh, it's going to be epic. But I can't. I just don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. And if it is shit, then I'm going to be so fucking disappointed. Like, it pissed me off to no end. I don't know. It's a big undertaking, and whoever takes up that job is going to be criticised all day long. And I partly, even though I'm a fan of the series and played against multiple times, I wouldn't want that job. It would, you know, I don't know. I'm worried. Okay, so moving on from that, an anime called One Punch Man, which is very famous right now, very popular. I saw one episode, fucking fell in love with it. It was dubbed. I mean, it was subbed, but I thought one episode, I've seen it. I'm loving that. I'm definitely buying it. It has been announced that it is coming out. It's basically about a guy who can knock out anybody, for his opponents, monsters, whatever, with one punch. And I think, because I've only watched one episode, it basically, he becomes bored with it, essentially, because you can defeat any opponent. So, whatever. I don't know. It's fucking funny, hilarious. I absolutely love it. And I fell in love with it in one episode, so I highly recommend that anime. Or hell, just go watch a trailer. One Punch Man is coming out in April 2017 on Blu-ray. I don't know how much it can cost, 35, 40 quid, doesn't matter. I would definitely do an unboxing of it. I keep saying there's animes on my backlog that I've got to buy to do unboxings of, and I've been getting through them here and there. Death Note recently, and then Berserk I've just bought that came out new. So, you know, which, by the way, Berserk is a great anime, and I highly recommend you watching that. It's already hit in my top 10. I absolutely love it. I don't know why they didn't make season 2 or whatever. Bollocks. Anyway, I'm still waiting for the 2016 version. But whatever. That is coming. So yeah, guys, on April 2017, One Punch Man comes to Blu-ray. Next up is another movie game, another computer game to movie ratio, is Uncharted. Uncharted movie, again, this is very different from the Metal Gear series because it's got the same kind of concept, but it's like the narrative is still there. If you look at game 1, there's all these locations, you've got the story, it's so simple to follow, and then you put the actor in there with the actresses, and that is it. There you go. It's pretty much done for you. You just have to put that into a 90-minute concept, or 140-minute concept, and then, you know, it will work. I can imagine it will. As long as the acting's good, and locations are spot on, the thing's already done, because it's essentially a movie by itself anyway when you play the game. But the Uncharted, I think it's director Joe Carman, if I'm getting that right, I don't know, teased in January on Instagram the script of Uncharted, right at the front saying script, so he had a script for it. No cast has been announced. He announced on comingsoon.net that the script was rated R, so adults or whatever, I suppose. Like Deadpool and stuff like that, I believe. He said, when I wrote the Uncharted movie, I didn't spare the rod. I wrote it the way the game is. They swear in the game, and he kept that intact. Not writing it as a PG-13, and he's saying that the movie written the way it should be written. So we've got somebody who's you know, wrote the movie the way he feels it should be done, staying core to the truth of the element of the game, the core concept, which is I advise anybody doing from a video game to a movie ratio or a comic book to a movie, stick with the core concept. If the base audience will love it, and everybody else will love it. It's the whole point, you know. The other people will jump on board. And this is my advice to anyone who's doing this. Like I said, Metal Gear is very complicated, and I don't know where you're going to go with it. I am concerned. But Uncharted, again, I don't know who's going to be playing the main actor or whatever, but it's more of a simple concept there. So I've got more faith in the Uncharted movie. I really do, because, like I said, it's a simple concept. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Haven't seen the Assassin's Creed movie yet. That's kind of big as well, based on. But like I said, all we've got to do is take one of the games, the first one, and then you'll get into it, and then you'll just follow that narrative. Story-based games like that, which ain't so complicated, with a simple concept, are easy to do. Where Metal Gear is just a whole different ball game, in my opinion. Who knows? No release date confirmed, or actors confirmed for the Uncharted either. Alright guys, our next set of stories are some actual game news now. Actually, maybe I should have done this first, but my bad. But first of all, the last TV thing I am going to talk about is Resident Evil is being made into a TV show on Netflix. Now, I did speak about this last week, and that being the future of video games to live action movies or live action TV series, because you'll be able to tell more of the story. Like I said, it will allow them to tell a more in-depth story on the series. They are apparently right now in the early stages, and they say that they want to stay true to the series, and this could implement Season 1, could be Resident Evil 0, or Resident Evil 1, the first game alone. This will be a live-action TV show, obviously, by the way, you know what I mean, not animated like they do have the animations. So that's interesting, and filming apparently starts this spring. Now, Netflix do good work. On the whole, I mean, I like their work. I think they do great work. I'm pretty pissed off about what they did with Death Note, changing the character to fit their fucking narrative. And that just pissed me off. I don't like that shit. It's dumb, and I hope they don't do it. They say here that they want to stay true, but how true will they stay to it? If you know what I mean, if their political views or fucking, you know what I mean, jump in there, and that pisses me off to no man's end, because it's not true to the series, which is my core value of everything that you do. Like in terms of video game to, you know, movie or TV show ratios, they're saying they're going to do that, but will they do that? And I hope they do. I think they fucked up Death Note with their stupid casting, and I hope that I'm looking forward to it though. Either way, I think okay, you got The Walking Dead, very popular. Then you got that other zombie series. It's on Z Nation. That's a very good TV show, and I recommend watching Z Nation, by the way. There's season 3 out as well. I mean, I've only got season 1 on Netflix, but I'm definitely interested in watching a Resident Evil TV show. I can already say, from my point of view as of now, if I get the casting right and they do it good or whatever, you know what I mean, it's going to have a good budget. It's going to have all those aspects of what Z Nation is, or Walking Dead, that kind of good quality. Just, I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking, because the story is obviously going to be very, very different. I'm just saying, if they get the production values right, if it looks good and everything, I'm already on board to say I'll buy season 1, I'll buy season 2, just to get a full scale 20-25 episodes, let's just say it is, of Resident Evil. Or hell, even if it's an hour episode and they do 12-13 episodes, that's 13 hours of Resident Evil. They might even implement get Resident Evil 0, 1 and 1 together in like a 2-season thing, but packed in 1 season. So I don't know. The future's bright for that, I think, right now. I would love to see it. The actual movies are not that good, or compare. I know a lot of people don't like them. I get that. They're not perfect, but I just watched them regardless, and I'm planning on seeing another one as well. Regardless if it was canned or not, like, you know, like people hated on it or not, I'm still going to watch it. So I think there's some hope there, and I think they've picked a good series. I just hope they get it right. Next up is Bethesda. Now, Bethesda's Todd Howard, executive producer, has said that they are working on 2 big projects and a mobile game. He said, we have a number of projects on the go. We are bigger now, and we want to be putting out more stuff, which obviously makes sense. he has 3 big projects in the work, well, 2 big projects in the work, and a mobile game as well. Not a big fan of mobile games, never have, never will be. And he says that they're more on the classical scale of what we do, but it's actually bigger than anything that they've ever done. So, I mean, the games they do, like Skyrim and that, are fucking massive anyway, so we can only speculate on how much bigger this is going to be. Hopefully it's not in a series, as it were, like, you know, an ex-Skyrim game or something like that. Maybe it's a totally new IP, which would be really, really good. In another, you know, they've got enough money to tell a different story or whatever. I'm hoping that comes out, and, you know, obviously people will love that. And they will cornerstone this generation again, because there's not a lot of stuff out there. It's all serious based, you know what I mean? Which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, actually. So they can really get the uppity up, and, you know, they've got their loyal fan base, and I think they're good at what they do. Even though I don't play their games, I respect what they do. They do good work, you know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. Of course, they're not going to release anything on a timescale. They haven't said when this is going to come out. So no release dates or anything. But with E3 2017 coming up, they might give us a few hints there. So be on the lookout for what Bethesda is doing. Next up is Halo 6 is coming with, well, Halo 6, obviously it's going to come out, will include the feature of split screen. Yes, after for Halo 5 non-split screen, which there was a huge backlash over. I was pretty pissed off of it, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time, but I played all the other Halos, or a bunch of them, so I thought not having split screen is a complete joke. And they used the excuse at the time that in optimizing the split screen, even though it was this generation's console, not last year, you know, this is like next gen, they were already preparing this Halo 5 for, they said that it would, optimizing it and everything would take time away from building other parts of the game, which is a fucking shit excuse and bullshit, and I don't agree with that one way or the other. Either way, that's their lame-ass excuse, but it is returning to Halo 6, which is a good thing. You know, putting it back in there, as it were, you know, it'd be popular with everyone. I'll be able to play with my friends, you know, whatever. It's just fun, you know, just murdering, you know, aliens across the universe, as it were. And I will be playing Halo at some point. I'm trying to get through Gears of War. I'm breaking away from Gears to go to something else, to going back to Gears, and then I'll keep doing the same thing until it's gone. And then I'll start on Halo at some point and do the same kind of thing. So yeah, that is being brought back. And the final story this week is Crash Bandicoot, right? It is coming out on June 30th. But it may not be an exclusive to PlayStation. Now, originally it came out on the PlayStation 1. I spoke about this last week. Loved it. Blah blah blah. Boy, childhood memories. Blah blah blah. Now, PlayStation Island tweeted out that it would be an exclusive, and then quickly deleted that tweet, saying that it would be coming to the PS4 and PS4 Pro first, which could mean it is a timed exclusive. Now, there's so many things to say here, and it relates directly more or less to Xbox and this console generation. If it's a timed exclusive, it's still shit. It's still shit. It generally is, because it's supposed to be a PlayStation classic. It's PlayStation's Mario, Sonic, whatever you want to call him, platformer. He was the man. He was representing PlayStation all day. Should have come out on PlayStation 3. It was a crime that he didn't. And then they bought some bullshit racing thing as well out there as well. But whatever, I'm not speaking about that. But it relates directly to this generation, because Xbox, once again, if it is, I assume it's coming to Xbox. Now, it is Naughty Dog's project, right? They do what they want with it. We have Uncharted, it's PS4 exclusives. And now, how should I put this? In theory, or reality is, you could argue that people playing games, no matter what console, PC, around the world, is a good thing. We're all experiencing every game. Oh, that's great. Xbox isn't left behind. PS4 isn't left behind. Blah, blah, blah. But it feels cheap. It really does, because if that is a valid point on some parts, but in other parts it's not, because Xbox One, once again, is stealing PlayStation's projects, or like, alright, it's not theirs, but they're exclusive. So, for example, Metal Gear went to Xbox, Tomb Raider went to Xbox, and in theory, Crash Bandicoot going to Xbox. It's fucking shit. It defeats the purpose of a console battle or console generation or anything like that, because it then distinguishes what console to get, because it doesn't really matter in this generation, because you can play almost anything on each other console. Now, what does that mean? Well, maybe there's a bit of fanboyism there. You can argue that with me on the PlayStation. I get that. And I have both. I'm just arguing for the point of having one or the other, or even both. It's quite pointless in many ways, because now you could argue that, wait a minute, now for developers,
you can say, well, that gives the developers more money for Xbox, you know, PlayStation, and whatever, right? They get more money, which enables them to make better games, right? That makes sense. That's not a bad thing. We all get to play better games because of the investment they've made. We all get to play it. They get our money back from 2, 3 different consoles, whatever it is, and then they get to reinvest that into making better games. Yay! That's a good thing. That's supposed to be a positive thing. However, when you look at this console generation, or whatever, you don't see fuck all. All you see is a lack of imagination, game series after game series coming out with Assassin's Creed, God of War, Uncharted, Resident Evil, fucking Destiny 2, piece of shit, that is coming, by the way. I haven't got too much information on it because I can't be bothered to even go into it, because it's just going to be a fucking rant about that, which I'm not buying. I fucking won't buy in principle, fuck you. Halo fucking is a series that just Halo. Well, you know, it's because I get it. So we've got Halo 6 coming out. Gears of War is another series. What else is coming out? I can't think of like massive series. All right, Telltale Games do the same concept but with different stories. That's interesting. But overall, like it's the same shit over and over and over again. You know, all right, it's not all companies, but it's a majority of companies that are doing it. And in general, this, you know, I think Bethesda may be the breakaway with. All right, Fallout again is a series, you know, and whatever. And then you got Skyrim, but I get people want more of the same to a point. But there's a lack of. I mean, Scalebound for fuck's sake got cancelled. That was supposed to be a standalone new IP. Hey, this is what this is. It's going to be great. Different new game, not a series or anything. Something new. Fucking cancelled. Final Fantasy. Series again, out there again. So it's just fucking ridiculous. So the excuse is right now. I'm getting this is what it boils down to. Everything is on everything, more or less. You can play it where you want on each console. They get more money, but we're not getting anything different. We're not getting any kind of fucking new imagination of game or whatever. We're getting nothing. We're getting the same rehash shit over and over again. That's why I said that E3 2017 is going to be boring, because it's the same fucking shit. Oh, unless you care about indie games, fucking go indie games, go play your indie games. And that's why indie games are doing quite well, because they're actually using their brain, being smart, being clever, being different, and having a vision, and doing good, fun ideas which are intriguing to people. They haven't got the backing like that, like in terms of finance, but they're actually, I mean, if you look at the core concept of The Walking Dead, it's a point-and-click game. A point-and-click game that could be on the PC, and it is probably, but a point-and-click game that is traditionally PC, I have never felt the same kind of hatred and emotion and sadness and difficult decision-making in a game before. Of a basic, the gameplay is so simple, point-and-click, but that was so different. I had my mind and invested my emotions in, fuck that character, I love that character, they're great. Oh man, they kick ass. Why, save him, you know, some kind of emotion there. On a point-and-click game, that's why it does so well, because it's so fucking simplistic, but it's so brilliantly done. And yet, you know, with your hundreds of millions of pounds that you get invested from Assassin's Creed, or fucking Call of Duty, or Battlefield, whatever it is, you know, I'm just using those examples, but I've mentioned like 10 others here. There's nothing really new. You know what I mean? They're not breaking away. They're not doing one big project and then investing into a whole new IP every single year, which they should be doing. They're not doing that. So that's why I feel a little bit disappointed at this, oh, well, you can play anything on everything, because it becomes kind of dull and pointless, and the excuse isn't there. Because you ain't put the money, what we've given you, from both console generations or PC, and invested it back into another project, a new project for us to play, or anything. I don't know, I mean, maybe production costs have gone up and all the rest of it, but if you downed your fucking advertising, I can't remember the advertising for Call of Duty a few years ago, it was ridiculous. But anyway, that's my rant on Crash Bandicoot games for Xbox, if that is confirmed. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know you won't agree with me on everything, I get that, I understand. Please leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and maybe you disagree with me, maybe you think they're doing so good and you don't care or whatever. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. It's all in the link in the description below. Don't forget to check out my affiliation with Razer.com. I'm hoping to have a new headset just on principle, because this one's 4 or 5 years old in the next 2 weeks. But I don't know. I've got to buy insurance again for my PC. It's running out of insurance this year, so I want to get that done. It's only about 100 quid, so it's not too bad. But, you know, and I've got to buy a new headset. I'm deciding which one it will be. Obviously, it's going to be a Razer product, because I'm sponsored by Razer, so I'm going to be buying them. I'm not buying Turtle Beach or whatever, they break after a year. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Sleeping Dogs playthrough. That will be after this video. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.